Previously, the group headed through the closest open door and found themselves in a room with three water wheels that had bells on them. There was a riddle posted on three columns throughout the room, and after some back and forth, and a little bit of pain when they misinterpreted things, the group was able to solve the puzzle and open the next door. In the next room, a voice gave them some instructions. They discovered several plates on the floor with symbols on them in different colors, as well as a nozzle that very much seemed like a bad thing. They made plans for Tornak to redirect anything that came out of the nozzle, only for Oz to accidentally set it off as the group tried to move past it so that Tornak could get into place. Luckily, Tornak was already mostly in place and was able to redirect it fairly quickly. Keelan stepped onto the first plate, and a target appeared on the far side of the room. He shot several arrows at it, and the plate under him lit up. Oz stepped onto the next plate, and what looked like a punching bag appeared beside him. He attacked it 3 times before disappearing, as he clearly failed the task and didn't do enough damage. Taria rushed up to take his place, hitting the straw-filled bag with her weapon until the plate under her lit up. Sean stepped onto the next plate, and a crystal sphere appeared on the wall. She shot at it with a guiding bolt until it lit up. They all hesitantly stepped off their plates, and they stayed lit up. Then Keelan moved on to the next one, which was the same color as the one he'd been on, and he was hit by his own arrows. Taria and Sean both stepped onto the next plates in their colors as well, and they were hit by their own attacks as well. A door appeared on the far end of the room as all of the plates lit up, and Oz reappeared. To him, it felt as if he'd blinked, so he was surprised to see everyone in different places. They headed to the newly opened door and looked into the next room. It was filled with steam pipes that didn't seem to be holding the steam very effectively, as steam was escaping from most of them. There was a green crystal at the far end of the room, which had corresponded to Body when the statue spoke earlier, so the group suspected whatever was in the room would probably be of a more physical nature. Sure enough, Taria stepped into the room, and the word fight started to glow on the wall. The door began to close, and everyone threw themselves inside. A giant steam golem came through a grate on the other side of the room. The group started fighting, several of them going unconscious at some point during the fight. And then the fucking otter got the killing blow. Again. Because of course it did. The room slowly started to clear after the steam golem went down, and the group took a short rest on the far side of it. As they rested, Tornak quietly apologized to Sean for getting her killed. She told him that she was fairly certain she'd gotten herself killed. After finishing their rest, the group made their way through an unassuming hallway and found themselves in a room with a purple crystal. There was a blue gem in the center of the room, and runic numbers going from 1 to 8 on the floor. As they stepped into the room, they heard the voice again. Take a position. Each of the group stepped up, and it was as if they were encased in shadows. They couldn't see or hear anyone else, but they could hear the voice continue speaking. It gave them the option to continue on their path, or to choose to use the blue gem, which had a single wish spell in it. Scenes displayed in the front of the room. The group saw images of Auntie Suzanne and a village being destroyed, Tornak's brother disappearing in the storm, Taria's family being taken away, multiple images of a young boy being burned to death while running from praetors, a young tiefling girl being stolen from her parents by pirates, a blonde human woman dying on a bed, and a figure walking away with a needle in hand. Also, a giant clam being lost to the ocean. The otter may have stepped onto one of the runic numbers too. The group as a whole was given 60 seconds to decide what each of them wanted to do. Everyone decided not to accept the wish spell, to leave the past in the past. Except for Zaya. As the others watched, a platform was created leading to the crystal, and she stepped out onto it. As she walked forward, Zaya sent a message to Oz telling him she was going back to get him. Oz replied, "He was always yours to get." Then, without another word, Zaya reached out and picked up the crystal. To the rest of the group, she instantly disappeared. From Zaya's perspective, she appeared back in the past, and she prevented the tragedy that led to the young boy, her brother Ezra, dying. And her world changed completely. her future became very, very different in a world where he didn't die. But the others remained back in the cavern, in the world where he had died. A world that Zaya was no longer a part of, as she had chosen to leave them behind if it meant getting her brother back. And that is where we left off.